The following contest is a tag team attraction scheduled
live from New York City.
Excuse me!
Sirius XM Radio presents Busted Open.
Get some now!
By the way, what you gonna do? To be the man, you gotta beat the man, beat the man, beat the man. Woo! Woo! Woo!
And now, Busted Open. Here are your hosts, Dave LaGreca and Doug Mortman.
Bang! Oh, yeah! We are here for you on a Tuesday after that incredibly long and thorough update at the top of the hour. It's Busted Open. Dave LaGreca, Doug Mortman here in our posh New York City studios. Yes, we are Sirius 122, XM 143 for who knows how long, until they tell us. 866-522-2846 if you listen through the update and you're still with us. 866-522-2846. It's a pleasure to be here with you on Busted Open. So much to talk about, so much to cram in.
And we got 3 less minutes now because of that universal update at the top of the hour.
And so little time.
Fools!
866-522-2846. LaGreca and Mortman. Riker, I usually say on the other side of the glass, but he's on our side of the glass.
We're moving things around here today.
We got computer issues in the studio. We got Jay Moore on pushing the ones and twos, so you know we're in good hands. And Dave LaGreca, how are you?
Excellent. I just talked to our special guest that's going to be an in-studio guest here today, DDP himself, Diamond Dallas Page. Bang! It's a blizzard here today, but you know what? The diamond cutter went right through the snow into our posh studios.
It cuts through, bro.
Studio 7 here at Sirius XM Radio is going to be on with us in about 10 minutes. I can't wait.
Yes, it's going to be very exciting. DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, self high five, the whole 9 yards. Him and his yoga will be in here. He wants to talk about all sorts of interesting stuff, and we got a bunch of interesting questions for him. So
definitely.
I think you'll be thoroughly entertained. 866-522-2846 is the number, so get on board. Fast and Furious calls at the beginning. We'll go to DDP. We'll take some calls with Diamond Dallas Page, so get on board with that.
Yeah, why not?
Why
we never
not?
do that, but maybe we'll do it with DDP.
Let's do it with DDP because he's going to be in studio, so that's a unique opportunity to get you fans with DDP. So let's start with last night, and then we'll work our way backwards.
Okay.
Just a terrible Raw. A terrible Raw that furthered very few storylines. And the storylines that they did further were they just killed it. They killed the Bret Hart storyline last night. They killed it. The legacy situation is strange. There's a lot of strange stuff going on right now. But Raw in general, what the hell was the deal last night?
Well, you know what, Doug? You're absolutely correct. The whole Bret Hart thing, horrendous. Horrendous. I was saying to myself, how are they going to humiliate Bret Hart more? How is this possible? Because every week you bring Bret Hart in, all right, the first segment with Bret Hart I thought was very good. He came to peace with Shawn Michaels, had no problem with that, okay? But then the whole Vince McMahon thing, it's like every week he goes in there, he talks to Vince McMahon, and there's another way to embarrass and humiliate Bret Hart. And I'm saying to myself during his promo, which wasn't very good, by the way, I'm like, how are they going to embarrass him this week? You know, they give him a kick in the gut, they spit in his face, they have Batista come out and slap him around and beat him up, okay? So I was like, how are they going to top that? They have him get into a car accident, you know, as he's leaving. So it just so happens there's a camera on Bret Hart as he's saying his goodbyes, but they actually have him get into a car accident in the parking lot right after the show as he's leaving. I mean, this is embarrassing. You know, I mean, come on already. You know, I mean, enough is enough. And you're right, Doug. I think what they're doing here is that they're killing this angle. I'm guessing with this leg injury, whatever happened here with the car backing into the limo, you know, he's obviously hurt. He gets rushed to the hospital. Hopefully, you know what, they're going to take a break from this angle for a couple of weeks.
But why, though? They were building to something. They were going somewhere with it. What happened? Contractually, Bret was upset and wanted to walk. He didn't feel like he wanted to be embarrassed every week. What are they killing this angle for?
I don't think it's a case, me personally, I don't think it's a case where Bret Hart's saying to himself, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. I just don't think that they're being creative enough with Bret Hart. I just think that they've run out of ways to embarrass him. How can you embarrass him anymore? Let's have a car back into him as he's trying to get into the limo. It's ridiculous. Why not have a little back and forth? How about getting Shawn Michaels involved? How about getting Triple H involved? How about having a little back and forth with Vince McMahon? Maybe, you know what, Vince McMahon humiliates him one week, and then the next week Bret Hart gets back at Vince McMahon. I mean, I don't understand what they're doing. We know it's going to come to a head at WrestleMania. But if you're going to have the match, just announce the match and then have the build up towards it for WrestleMania.
Or don't announce the match. Or actually have like a little back and forth here. Give Bret a little something. They gave him his moment yesterday. They allowed him to come out and say whatever he wanted to say. But it made me depressed. Once he started talking and he had that sad look in his face, and all he was doing was just saying, it's over now, and I've spent the course and blah blah blah. And that's it. And that's it. Are you serious?
Doug, I said it to you actually 2 weeks ago when we were watching Raw together before the Super Bowl. When I saw him down on the mat and Vince McMahon spitting in his face, I'm like, I was depressed about the whole thing. I'm like, come on, the guy comes back, he's a legend. All right, the guy's been away for 12 years, right?
Sure.
I didn't know what kind of crowd reaction Bret Hart was going to get because he's been away for so long.
He's had great pops everywhere.
But I thought maybe, fans might forget him. No, that's not the case. Like you said, great pops everywhere he goes. But you know what's going to happen is you're going to embarrass him to the point that he's not going to get any crowd reaction at all. You're going to embarrass him to the point that people aren't going to care. And it's almost at that point. It's almost at the point where you're expecting him to get humiliated.
Well, but let me take it from a different angle. After last week, and, Cena baited Vince into saying, yes, I'll give Bret the match. Mm-hmm. And then, so Vince is like, shut up, yes, I'll do it. And then, obviously, later he reneged and, had the great line, Bret, you deserve to be screwed. And then they turned that into, like, this ghoulish promo over the last week, which you saw on every WWE property under the sun. You even saw it again last night. They played it again.
Yeah.
Leading up to the Bret segment. For me, they left it off at a perfect spot. It was a perfect spot. Just leave it at that. Why even do this last night? Why have this swan song and then break his leg in a freakish accident, which was it was so horrendous. The girl who, we're getting a little bit of some rumors out there. Some people are chiming in on who that lady might have been in the gold Beamer. I've heard from a couple people, one of which I absolutely believe in here, Mike Riker. That might have been, as DDP walks into the studios right here, that might have been Shawn Michaels' wife.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels' wife.
Now, when she pulls the car off of the poor Bret Hart, who just had his leg destroyed, explain to me this whole setup. Why would they do it like that? Why would they have it? She didn't even move the car, barely 2 inches. Well, move the car away. Let the guy extend his freaking leg for a second. What a terrible job that was.
How about this? And the callers are already calling in because they want to talk about that. How about this? You have Batista humiliate Bret Hart last week. How about this week you have Cena, some kind of confrontation with Batista? How about that?
Hey,
yeah, John Cena have a confrontation with Batista, and then McMahon comes out and is like, you know what? I changed my mind. I will face Bret Hart at WrestleMania.
Or I will only face Bret Hart if I have Batista on my side versus Cena and Hart. Just like we said the whole time. They could have done 100 things. They absolutely killed it last night, Dave. They killed it.
How about you have DDP come out, do the diamond cutter on Batista and McMahon, and embarrass him? And how about you do something like that? At least that's a little creative. Can we have some creativity, for crying out loud?
Diamond Dallas Page. Let's welcome him into the show. He's here early. We're not used to our guests not only being in studio, but actually coming early, so we appreciate it. Let's bring it to the mics. What's up, DDP?
Maybe I'm just in New York and just promoing my thing, doing my YRG thing.